This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So before I start the demo, let me introduce myself. I have around 14 years of experience. I started my career with ABAP. Then I moved to SAP UI5, Fiori, ABAP OData, Fiori Elements. Then I moved to the BTP where I worked on various services in BTP like Capm, okay, and Node.js and services. I'm talking about services like mobile services, SAP Built Work Zone services, PDMS services. Okay, there are a lot of SAP CPA services I worked on. Okay, then DMS service I worked on. So there is a SAP Build Code service I worked on. There are a lot of services I worked on BTP. Okay, and also currently working in a company, okay, as a working on an organization also. Okay, so that is my overall experience. And coming to the training, so from past just mute yourself, Abhishek. Okay, coming to my training experience, I have overall almost 9 years of training experience. I started my with SAP UFI, then I moved to Fiori Elements, ABAP OData, then ABAP CDS use, RAP on BTP on premises, Capm, Node.js, JavaScript, and various services in BTP. I'm giving training. So this is the training experience. Okay, and let's come back to the today's demo. Okay, so now today agenda. So what is the agenda which I'll be covering is why SAP Cloud application programming model. Yes, we have on-premises system, we have everything. Okay, then why we required a CAPM? Why cloud SAP Cloud application programming model? Then obviously, what is BTP? Everyone is talking about nowadays. Everyone are talking about BTP. We'll move to BTP. We'll use the BTP. BTP. What is it? So now cloud application programming model in BTP. What is it? What is CAPM in BTP? What is it you're doing in BTP? That we are going to discuss. Introduction to Node.js and JavaScript, absolutely. So what is Node, why we are using, what is a JavaScript, why we are using, we are going to discuss. Then what is Node.js single thread model? Okay, so Node.js is very, very famous for the single thread model. So what is it? That we are going to discuss, and design principles of the CAPM we are going to discuss, and how SAP Cloud Application Programming Model simplifies the development. No, nowadays everyone are talking about fast development, everything. So how it is going to simplify the development? Then flavors of SAP Cloud Application Programming Model that we are going to discuss, and what are golden paths of CAPM that is we're going to discuss, and key qualities and benefits of CAPM that also we are going to discuss, and one demo in CAPM. So this is the today's agenda which we are going to discuss. Next, why SAP Cloud Application Programming Model? Anyone tell me why SAP Cloud Application Programming Model? Anyone tell me why SAP Cloud Application? Anyone knows? Okay. So before that, let us, if you want to understand why we required CAPM, now we need to understand the origin of the SAP Cloud Application Programming Model. Means we need to understand the history of the classical SAP projects. Means what are the history of the classical SAP projects of an on-premises system? So SAP systems are standard software. Yes, we know that
Hello.
SAP system.
Hello, one
Yeah,
second.
please.
Hello.
Yeah,
Can you go a little bit slow, please?
yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, you're going a little bit fast.
Okay, sure.
Yes, it is.
Sure, definitely. So now, why SAP Cloud Application Programming Model is there? Okay, we, we need to understand why we are using why SAP has introduced the Cloud Application Programming Model. The reason behind is okay. If you want to know why SAP CAPM is there, then we need to understand the history of our classical SAP projects. Means that old approach, okay, or current approach which we are doing in on-premises system. Okay, so SAP systems are standard software. Yes, obviously SAP systems are on-premises standard software which SAP is providing for us. Yes or no? Right? This means they offer certain functionalities, okay, that many companies, okay, similarly need. Means they prepared a standard software in such a way that most of the companies, okay, companies have similar need, and based on that they have developed. That is our on-premises system. Okay, you can customize the settings of this functionality to a certain extent. Yes, we are able to do customize the functionalities to certain extents like enhancements, baddies, user exits, configurations, developing custom programs in our on-premises system. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Right? So to adopt the system and process to their approach, many companies access options for enhancements. Means yes, SAP is providing you the product, but what are the standard process which SAP is providing is not meeting to your requirement. So what we will do? We will do go for options for enhancements, baddies, user exits. Yes or no? Right? So now SAP has integrated most of the functionality you need to extend an SAP system into the same system. What say SAP is integrated in such a way like HR, MM, SD, F5, everything it is integrated, okay, into one system. Correct or not? When you purchase SAP on premises, you will have entire package, right? Correct. So now SAP, we call it as SAP ERP. So SAP ERP comes with an extension, workbench, and programming language of ABAP. Yes, complete that SAP on-premises system is coming with a programming language called ABAP. Yes or no? So this allows developers to work efficiently and they don't have to worry about common aspects like authentication, setting up of database and necessary permissions. Yes, you have the system. You not worry about setting the database. You will not be worrying about the authentications. You will not worry about the what you can say common aspects like integrating and everything database. Everything is there in the SAP on-premises system. Yes or no? So nothing we need to worry. Okay, and also this is SAP system already provides all users management logging. Okay, so then the thing developers has to think about or worry about. Yes, obviously you have purchased on-premises system. Your purchase is entirely packed, pre-packed with all the modules connected to the database, authentications, authorizations, logging mechanism, everything is there. There's nothing we need to worry. Yes or no? As a developer, we're not required to worry only in on-premises system. Correct? So, but as the number of now what okay you say you are saying that everything is there, then what is the problem? So, but as the number of enhancements and modification increases, updates to the SAP system becomes expensive and cumbersome. Let us assume that you have a company, okay, and you have a running of around 100 businesses. Let us assume 100 businesses, and total 100 businesses you put it in the SAP system, right? Then when the upgrade happens, okay, it is difficult for us to do the handle this type of issues because as the number of enhancements modification increases, upgrade to system becomes expensive and cumbersome. Yes or no? Putting all your business in one system and trying to upgrade or anything problem happens to total business will be on the one system, right? So for that, customers ask for more functionality faster with a better experience. So customer is telling, hey, everything you're putting in SAP system is but and they're asking something another new thing which much faster and better experience. So the web has become more important and SAP has released more some intermediate steps called SAP UI5, a framework for implementing user interfaces with SAP Fiori design guidelines using JavaScript. So what I'm planning to tell you, right? Yes, okay, done. Okay, done. So SAP is telling SAP on premises is there, but when we do the deep enhancements, upgrade is very tough. Then customer is asking for the better experience and functionality better faster. Okay, then what SAP has done, SAP has introduced SAP Fiori using the SAP UFA framework where we can use the web applications instead of going to the GUI. That is what the intermediate step has come in from the SAP. Any questions on this until now? No questions, right?
So
Yeah,
one question. So
yeah,
how
please.
is it different from RAP?
I'll come. Let's not bring
Okay.
RAP here, but I'll come. I'll come. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Coming
Okay.
to CAPM, any questions? No, right? Okay. Now, under the slogan, so there is a slogan that keep the core clean. Means you do all the enhancements, baddies, user exits, okay, deep enhancements for all your businesses you're doing in SAP system. Then that is not a right approach. So SAP is telling keep the core clean. What does that mean? SAP recommends against making deep enhancements in the core system itself. So SAP is not recommending to do the deep enhancements in the core system itself. Suppose firms over customizing the system at the base level, in that case, it becomes harder to connect new applications and data sources without breaking the system. Means what does that mean? Suppose you are connecting overly, you are connecting, doing enhancements overly, you are connecting to the integrations, everything you are putting in one system. Okay, that will be complicated to connect to the any other systems also, which will be very tough. Okay, so now yes, customizing is good because it can bring forward tuned efficiencies. Still, you need to do at the higher level inside the SAP platform through standard application programming model, programming interfaces called API, rather than down at the kernel level. Okay, doing at the kernel level too much integrations, too much, it's not approach. What we need to do, we need to do create APIs to connect to the different integration systems. And also you should not do the deep enhancements in your SAP system. That will really will be a problem. Okay, the biggest challenge is creating and maintaining that application. Okay, what is the biggest challenge is only one technology only you can use, that is called ABAP. Right, so you have to get only ABAP only for develop all the applications. Okay, then that will be very too costly because the only developer is ABAP. If you want to, there is no other technology only is there in the on-premises system, only ABAP. So now customer is telling that, okay, I want to move to the cloud, but I want a stable framework for business application developments during lifetime of applications. So you are telling that keep the core clean. Okay, fine. We will not do deep enhancements. We will not do deep integrations and everything. We will move to the cloud. But what is it you are providing me? Because I have a stable framework in on-premises system where logging mechanisms, authentications, connecting to the database, everything is stable. Then if I move to the cloud and you are telling keep the core clean, okay, I will be having keep the core clean. I will not do deep enhancements. I will to move to the cloud. But when I move to the cloud, it's open. It's a vast. So what is that you are providing me with a stable framework which on premises already there. I want even in the cloud. Because I will tell you reason, the applications which we are developing in the cloud, okay, it is a unstable environment because it is an underlying infrastructure or business logic in the cloud. And app development which we are doing in the cloud is complex. And also moving to the cloud opens up modern programming models and various languages for developer to create innovative applications that are more powerful and scalable. What I'm telling you, so when you are moving to the cloud, you will have more options. You can develop Java, AngularJS, React, Node.js, SAP UI5, Vue, etc. Anything you can develop, any technology. But the cloud environment, it's unstable environment. What is mean by unstable environment? Today one technology came and tomorrow another new technology will come. The technology which has come yesterday got deprecated. Okay, so such an unstable environment which cloud is, because everyone are coming with new things daily. Now come customers of SAP or who are afraid. You are asking us to move the cloud and you are telling to the keep the core clean. And if I move to the cloud, there is unstable environment. What is that you are bringing it? For us to have a stable environment, what it is there in on-premises system. Then SAP created the cloud application programming model with precisely keeping in this mind customers familiar with the deploying, maintaining and developing SAP applications have turned to SAP with questions about developing in the cloud. So SAP has created a cloud application programming model is a new okay technology which SAP, I would say, with new framework which SAP is bringing keeping in the mind of the existing SAP customers, okay, keeping it in mind and making familiar with the same whatever they are doing in the on-premise system with the framework, and they're bringing this cloud application programming model where we can easily use this framework, we can develop and deploy our applications. So SAP wants the framework to make it easier for developers to use SAP services and systems while taking advantages in the cloud. Understood? So what SAP is, yes, I have brought Capm Pro, some framework, where using this framework, you can develop your applications easily as we are doing in the on-premises system and in the cloud I'm talking about. Okay, so any questions guys until now? Now understood why SAP Cloud Application Programming Model has come into the picture. The SAP Cloud Application Programming Model is an effective way to develop applications and services in the cloud. Okay, it provides developers with the ability to rapidly develop, test, and deploy applications using proven best practices. Yes, in on-premises system, we have a stable framework. In the same way, Capm is providing a framework where you can use this framework and you can develop your applications, test your applications, and you can do fast development, and you can also fast deployment using the best practices of the Capm. The framework comprises a mix of widely used open source and SAP tools and technology. This framework is bringing in such a way is a mix of widely used open sources, okay, SAP tools and technologies. Okay, so SAP Cloud Application Programming Model is nothing but it is a framework of languages, libraries, and tools for building enterprise-grade services and applications. So finally, SAP Cloud Application Programming Model is a framework which SAP is bringing you, where we using that framework, okay, of that languages, libraries, we can build a stable environment. It aims to guide developers on a safe path and proven best practices, and also wide range of out-of-the-box solutions for recurring tasks. So finally, SAP Cloud Application Programming Model is nothing but a framework which SAP is providing with the languages, libraries, tools, so that you can develop the enterprise-grade applications in most sophisticated way and with the best proven best practices and wide range of out-of-the-box solutions. Clear? Now understood what is CAPM? Why we required CAPM? Sorry, not what is. Why CAPM is required? Any questions, guys? Anyone have any questions? Clear? Any questions, guys? No questions. Okay. Now understood why CAPM is required. Now, before going to what is CAPM, now we need to understand what is BTP. Anyone tell me what is BTP? Anyone please tell me what is BTP? Anyone? So no one knows BTP, or anyone knows already BTP? Hello? Hello? No one knows? Or anyone knows? Please.
Yes, yes, I'm working in BTP.
Sorry?
I'm working in BTP only. Okay. So
Okay. So what is
it
BTP?
can one. Yeah, like where we have many services, like a one platform, okay, where we have
Mm-hmm.
many services and integrations. Okay, so where we can develop automation as well,
Mm-hmm.
where we can do automations,
Mm-hmm.
and we have many services, like for example, Cloud Foundry, Build Work Zone, and
Mm-hmm.
Authentic Security will be there. Okay, and we have this connection, this connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
So there are like a number of subjects where we can have this SSO migrate integrations as well with our SAP IDP.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's all together of one platform. Okay, under many services are there. It's the latest platform which
Mm.
right now it is available in the market.
Okay. Okay. Let's get into what is. Okay. Thanks. So SAP BTP offers variety of runtime like Java, Node.js, HANA, ABAP, etc. SAP BTP supports necessary runtime. Okay. For example, if you want to write the code related to the C in Notepad, we cannot run because we require C compile. Yes or no? Without C compile, how can you execute the C code? Yes or no? Right? If you want to run a Java program, we have to install Java runtime, so-called JRE. Right? See, you want to execute the Java program. How you will execute? Without JRE, you can't execute. So, similarly, if you want to run ABAP program, we require ABAP layer, which can understand your code, compile your code, check for syntax errors, then executes your code. So that runtime environment is part of BTP. So this is, we call it as service as platform as service. Understood now what is BTP? So, okay, along with the services which SAP is providing, BTP is also providing a runtime environment where you bring, okay, where you can execute your code, you can deploy your code, you can compile your code, you can check for syntax errors. Clear? So SAP BTP platform is a well-known platform. Okay, platform as a service offering from SAP. If you are planning to build innovative solutions to leverage new technologies like blockchain, machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, analytics, Gen AI, etc., okay, then SAP BTP is one of the best development platforms available. Okay, it also provides many out-of-the-box integration options. And also it helps to build software development kits SDK to integrate with SAP SuccessFactors, Ariba, non-SAP and non-SAP systems. So this is the best platform for building applications that connect to the systems. Understood? Any questions? Okay, now although choosing the right environment depends on many factors.
Excuse me, Bobby. I have one
Yeah,
question.
yeah, please tell me.
I read that BTP is a side-by-side extensibility. So, what do you mean by side-by-side extensibility?
Okay, I'll tell. Down the line is there one topic side by side extension I will tell. Okay, but now understood what is BTP? So BTP is providing you choosing the right environment. How it has an environment called Cloud Foundry. Okay, and where you bring any language. You bring Java, AngularJS, Node.js, Python, SAP UFI, Go, bring any language. I am going to support. So it is providing a necessary runtime. That's the reason. Bring your own language, BYOL. You bring any language, I am going to support. Okay, along with that runtime environment it is providing, BTP is also supporting necessary services where you can build out of the box solutions like machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, analytics, Gen AI, etc. That is called BTP. Now, anyone have any questions on what is BTP? Any questions? What is BTP? Clear? No questions. Okay. Next. So now what is the motivation for SAP Cloud Application Programming Model? What it motivates for us? Yes. As a cloud development becomes increasingly relevant for our customers, we receive more and more questions asking about the best way to develop cloud applications. Yes, everyone are moving to the cloud. Then clients will ask us, okay, you're telling them about which is unstable environment. What is the best way to develop cloud applications? So then client is expecting, okay, what are the best practices, best guidelines are very important for us. And also you have to make sure that the quality is very important. Okay, then therefore we have to create a framework for that. What is client is asking. Okay, the framework in such a way that not only to guide developers, but also take away some of the more technical or foundational tasks to help the focus on the business logic. See, yes, what it motivates for client is telling that, okay, you are going to the cloud, so that should have a stable environment. Okay, for the business application development, and what are the best practices and best frameworks you are using to develop the cloud applications. And also, and this is the question raised by the client. Now We are telling that yes, there is a framework called Cloud Application Programming Model, which has very stable framework, okay, where developer can focus only on the business logic, not thinking about the connecting to the database, not thinking about the okay, what will happen in the tomorrow because it will get deprecated, not worrying about it, because SAP Cloud Application Programming Model is bringing me the framework in such a way will not be having any problems. So that motivates us to use the Cloud Application Programming Model in the cloud. Clear? Any questions? Understood? Next. So what is SAP Cloud Programming Model and what value it is bringing? Okay, so now application developers, okay, 1 second. Application developers, I hope I'm recording. Okay, yeah, okay. Application developers across the world are increasingly seeking faster development timeframes. Yes, all the developers are asking, we want fast development because the client is expecting the fast development, but quality should be good. Okay, so this is with the objective of getting their applications to users much more quickly that was previously possible. So developing the application very fast, that is one part, and getting the application to the users also should be very fast. That is now the current trend. Okay, traditionally the emphasis on rapid time to market would mean compromising on the quality of the applications. So when you do fast developments and everything, it means that we are compromising on the quality. Because of the compressed deadlines, there were also so much developers could do to ensure a relatively error-free code. Obviously, you are developing very fast. You have super duper deadlines to complete the fast. Okay, then if you do this all the things, then your quality will be good. There will be no error-free code. Yes or no? So to solve this problem, SAP introduced a cloud application programming model. The cloud application programming model, it is a popularly called, it is a framework which I just discussed. It is a framework of languages, libraries, tools for building enterprise grade services and applications. So what is cloud application programming model? It is nothing but a framework of languages, libraries, tools for building enterprise grade services and applications. However, instead of having developers worry about various technologies, okay, so now and the relative compatibility in era of fast-paced technology changes. See, now, yes, okay, fine, we are going to the cloud, you're telling framework good, but the problem is that today one technology will come, tomorrow another technology will come, and it will be very tough to handle it in the cloud because of the fast-paced technology changes. Yes or no? But the CAP allows the CAP allows developers to be a domain centric and work at higher level of abstraction that they would be traditionally technology platforms and frameworks. So suppose you are using the one XYZ technology to develop your applications in the cloud, and tomorrow ABC has come, XYZ got deprecated. So that's such an unstable environment. So the CAPM is providing us the framework in such a way, if this type of things will come on, also there is no impact, because the framework is the have that a higher level abstractions. Okay, so therefore focusing on the business aspects of the application, and it is anticipated accomplishments for the end users to allows developers to build applications that are more likely to be end used by the end users. Yes, the CAPM is providing us such a framework. With this framework, we're not ready and we can easily produce the applications to the end users very fast, and also not bothered about what is coming new technology, nothing to worry. Okay, so now it is a framework. Yes, absolutely. CAPM is a framework from SAP that lets to deliver business value faster by allowing your developers to focus on the business logic. See, one another aspect is, see, as a developer, you should not worry about how to connect to the database. You should not worry about how to deploy to the database. That should not be too much complicated. It should be very easy. So CAPM is a framework is bringing for us in such a way we can easily develop application, we can easily deploy our application, we can easily connect to the database. And also the CAPM reduces saves the money and also reducing the effort required to the program, the applications. And also we can easily develop the applications. Clear? Any questions until now? Anyone have any questions? Is it clear? You guys are understanding or I'm going still fast? Any questions? Fine. Okay. Next. Yes, you are telling that like, okay, you are bringing in the framework and you are telling the underlining technology and you are saying that today one technology will come, tomorrow another technology will come, but if you use the CAP framework, there will be no issue. That is what you are telling. Yes. How? How is that possible? How the CAPM is bringing in such a framework that we can handle this type of situations? Okay. So cloud application programming model is a combination of tools, languages, and libraries that will help you to build enterprise grade services and applications. So CAPM is bringing you the various combination of the tools like Eclipse, Node.js, Java, SAP Fiori, SAP HANA, REST OData, CDS, Business Application Studio, and VLS, sorry, Visual Studio Code. Okay, it is a open framework. Okay, with the all the tools and technologies. Clear? Any questions? Anyone have any questions? No questions. So now if you look at this is a CAPM. Yes, with the help of Node.js I can develop, with the help of Java I can develop, I can also develop the applications in Visual Studio, I can also develop the application Business Application Studio, I can use domain modeling, use CDS, I can develop a REST OData, I can connect to the HANA database, I can build SAP Fiori applications. You can do a lot. Not only Fiori, you can develop AngularJS, React, etc. Okay, now now let us understand the overall high level picture of the CAPM. Okay, when it comes to design principles of the CAPM, there is open and opinionated concept. It's open because it gives your choice. You can choose which technology to use and you can select your architecture pattern. You can pick and choose a pattern of programming model that suits your development need best. Let us assume that you are in on-premises system. What is the only one technology we can develop the applications? What is it in SAP on-premises system? Please tell me which technology we are going to you are using to develop the applications in on-premises system?
ABAP.
ABAP, right? So you can without you can use any other technology in on-premises system? No, right? Only ABAP only is the only one. But when we are moving to the CAP framework, okay, you create a just mute yourself if you don't have any question. Okay, when you are going to the CAP framework, CAP is telling you can develop the domain modeling either using CDS view and core business logic you will be writing in Node.js or Java. Okay, you can use any technology, Node.js or Java. Okay, the tools which you can use to develop is Business Application Studio, Eclipse, Visual Studio Code, etc. And you can connect to the databases, SAP HANA, SQLite database, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, any DB you can connect. So now coming to here, RAP. RAP you can only connect to the HANA database and the only technology you can use called ABAP. Whereas CAP you can connect to any DB, HANA DB, SQLite, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, any DB, and you can use Node.js or Java. And in the front end, you can use any UI technology, SAP Fiori, Angular, React, Vue, etc. And also the environment which you are going to use is Cloud Foundry environment, which is the part of BTP and different environments. Okay, understood now how what the design principle of CAPM? Any questions here? No questions. Next. So now zero lock-in. Okay, so before getting into the zero lock-in, let me explain why is CAPM is such a important. I'll tell you. So now here you have a CAPM. Okay, now you have a database or whether it is a HANA database or whatever the HANA database or PostgreSQL database, MongoDB, any database. Okay, you can connect using CAP model. Okay, now you have SAP UI5, you have AngularJS, you have React, you have Java, everything is there. Now this CAP model use Node.js or Java to write the business logic. Okay, to write the business logic. Okay, so you can write the business logic in Node or Java only in CAP model. So now what will happen if you write the business logic? This will generate a OData services. What is that? You're writing the business logic, everything perfectly fine. This will generate a API or OData service. So now this API and OData service, first we are using in AngularJS React in UI or React also you can just AngularJS I'm giving. Okay, now this AngularJS, how is this happening is with the API, this using API or OData. Now this AngularJS got deprecated. Now another application called Cam React. So now not required for us to develop this API or OData from the scratch. You can always same use this API or OData directly in the React applications. Understood? Yes or no? So this is what the CAPM is bringing. I am today one technology, sir. Tomorrow another technology, sir. There's connecting to the database, writing the business logic, nothing to touch. Only the API we have to touch, and that API will be providing to the React. Not even changing in the API also will provide to the React. Any questions, guys? Understood now? Underlining technology. Today one technology is come. Tomorrow another technology will come. I will just plug out and just plug into the new technology. That's the framework which CAPM is providing. Any questions, guys? Is it clear, guys? Any questions? Anyone have any questions, guys? Is it clear? Understood? Any questions until now? No questions. Okay. Now come back to the slide. So now SAP Cloud Application Programming Model Design Principles. Zero lock-in. As I said just now, you choose any technology of your choice. There is nothing lock-in. Coming to on-premises system, SAP, yes, there is a lock-in because with the only technology we can use is ABAP. Whereas coming to the CAPM, you bring any technology. I am not going to lock in anything. So it is a mandatory path with this programming model. To build UI, you can choose Fiori elements or you can choose any alternative technologies as well. Clear? Any questions? Not only the even the UI also. Even you connect to the database also, you can connect to HANA DB or PostgreSQL DB or MongoDB, etc. Any questions, guys? Yeah, please tell me. Hello. No questions. Okay. So now keeping the pace with a rapidly change world of technologies, a platform is a major challenge when we have to hardware too many things to today's environment. So which might soon become obsolete because today there is a company which have purchased some product and now it is not using it got deprecated because that's how it works. So now in that time, how we can achieve? So CAP avoids such lock-ins through higher level concept and APIs. This applies to things like, obviously today one technology will come, tomorrow another front end will come. Then how we have? So we just plug out from the old and plug in, that's all because we have the API with us. So platform specific development approaches and techniques. Platform specific provides providers and authentication strategies. Onboard, offboard, boarding of items, tenants will be done. Synchronous like REST, OData and graph are there, and lot of things are there in the this CAP. Okay, yeah. Any questions? Clear? Any questions? So platform specific deployment approaches techniques are there, platform specific identity providers authentications authorizations is there, onboarding tenant is there, synchronous protocols REST, OData and GraphQL is there. Okay, asynchronous channels like SAV event mesh MQ or Kafka is there. Different database technologies including SQL, non-SQL is there. Okay, so any questions, guys? This abstraction allows to quickly adopt to new technologies of our platforms without affecting the safeguarding our investments. Any questions? Anyone have any questions? No questions. Okay. Next, how the SAP Cloud Application Programming Model simplifies our development. Okay. To see how the SAP Cloud Application Programming Model simplifies development, let us first understand the common pain points when developing the enterprise application for the cloud. Let us assume that you are building a commerce application to be hosted in SAP BTP. Apart from focusing on the business requirement for this application, we have to focus on putting effort into addressing many non-functional requirements. Yes. So before getting into the actual development, there will be lot of things, issues will be coming, a lot of things need to be done before the setup. Clear? Any questions? Okay, so now the application should explicitly declare and isolate the dependencies. The application should be explicitly declared, but it should isolate the dependencies. For example, let's see you will be building the application with the SQL-led database. Let us assume that you're building the application using a SQL-led database, and if you deploy the application SAP BTP with SAP HANA database, no code changes is required. The database configuration declarations are isolated from the main code of the application. See, they are telling, okay, you build application with SQL database, you deploy the application SAP DT as HANA database, that time no code change is required because you are doing the development in SQL database, but you are deploying your code into the connecting to HANA database, that time no code change is required. The data configurations and declarations are isolated from the code of the applications. Okay, yeah, understood? Any questions? Okay, so building, testing, deployment, running applications should separate, operate seamlessly with minimal manual effort. Okay, obviously whenever you're developing the applications in the cloud, it should be minimal manual effort. The application should be properly utilized, modelized to support a microservice architecture. Okay, so architecture, okay, service architecture helps us to develop our applications in a much sophisticated modularized support is there. Okay, the application should support RESTful architecture, provides access services to OData. So the application is going to provide a REST OData service for us. Clear? The application should support multi-tenancy. This is not required. Okay, now yes, we discussed about the Clapham. Now we'll discuss about what are the two flavors are there which we can use this Clapham to develop the applications. The two flavors are Node.js and Java. Both flavors are sync in terms of characteristics and features. But however, the international technical implementation is different. The implementation of the business logic application is similar for Node.js and Java flavors. The major difference is writing the custom. Obviously, Node.js language is different and Java language is different. The difference only that. Okay, the programming model provides the option to write custom logic. What is the programming model? What it is bringing? It is bringing us to write the custom logic. For example, Node.js, you will need to write in JavaScript. For Java, you need to use Java classes. So for Node.js, we require JavaScript. That is enough, not Java. Clear? Any questions until now? No questions, right? Next. Now, what are the golden paths? Following are the golden paths of the programming model helps you to implement data models, services, and UIs in order to develop standalone applications. Okay, so now define your data model. CDS use, automatic deployment to HANA database. So whenever you use the framework of the Capm, automatically you can deploy to HANA database. There's nothing code is required to write it. And once you define your data model, automatically you can deploy to HANA database. Define your services. You can easily convert into OData services with filling the primary keys, authorizations, etc. very easily without much complicated writing the code. Or add custom logic. You can write the custom logic in the Java or Node.js. Add Fiori UIs using annotations. We can easily develop the Fiori applications without writing the SAP UFA code also, using the templates provided by SAP that is called Fiori elements. Clear? Any questions? Anyone have any questions? No questions. Next. So if you look at this one, okay, you have a development tools of that is called BAS, and you have a CDS where you are doing the domain model, data model, and you will be connecting to HANA database, then SAP Fiori applications, then you will have platform service, you will deploy it and you will display as a tile in the Fiori launchpad. Key qualities and benefits. Okay, we already emphasized the key focus on the application developments like golden paths we discussed of best practices and also automation of the time consuming task. That's okay. So no abstraction, minimal overhead. So while providing easy to use user interfaces to things like databases, we do not introduce abstraction. Means you always have access to all the native applications, for example, leveraging the power of SAP S/4HANA. Okay, now freedom of choice. You can connect to the any DB, AngularJS, React, PostgreSQL, anything you can connect. That is a free of choice. Opinions means you can develop UI technology, any technology. Okay, in summary, by using the declarative approaches like CDS, a combination of enterprises grade tools and services and our golden paths of best practices. So we have the certain golden paths by the, okay, using that golden paths only you have to follow so that your application will be more flexible. Next, safeguarding your investments. I think this we already covered. Okay. Now, yes, we said that we are going to develop the CAP applications. We said two technologies, one are Java or Node.js. Now we are going with Node.js approach, not Java approach. Okay. To drive the business logic in the CAPM projects. Any questions until now, guys? Is it clear, guys? You are able to understand or confusing? Okay. So Node.js is heavily used JavaScript framework for server-side web application developments. So whenever we are using the developing Node.js applications, means inside background is the JavaScript only, JavaScript, not Java. Okay, so it is developed on Chrome OS version as a JavaScript engine, and it helps compiling the JavaScript directly into the native machine code. Clear? So now, yes, we said the Node, and using JavaScript we are going to develop, but why Node.js has become so popular in the market? Let us take an example. Okay, so in this architecture, user interacts with the client machines like, these are the client machines, like laptops. This is a laptop, and this is a desktop and mobile. With the client machine, user makes our generate request and then send to the server, and the server takes some request action and processes those requests and send back to the results in the form of response and response and understandable. So now user is sending the request to the server, that is the VM, that is okay, and user getting the data from the database and requesting back to the one which is requested, which is not happening right now. So okay, this is what which is happening. Sorry, this is what which is happening because this is an old approach. What is happening is user, let us assume that you have a cab request. You are sending the request and your user interacting, you're opening a mobile, you're sending the request, and the request will go to the server, and server will go to the database and checks that anything we can provide a cap for this one, or any other caps are already fulfilled, they have to check. Okay, so now cab request and those requests sent to the Uber server, and Uber checks in the database and are active, which are active and available in that region, and allocates some cab to the customers. And the server send back to the card details or driver details to the customer in the form of response. So whenever a customer will raise a ticket in the phone for the cab, that request will go to the server, and the server will see whether this is request has come, and it go to the database and get the data. And now the problem is, if you are not using this, see, let us assume that I'm sending the request and I need to wait until it get back the response. This is a time consuming process, no? Yes or no? I am raising a cab request and I need to go to the server, and from the server database get the data. Then a driver will get allocated, and again driver will be allocated that time. Yes or no? This is what which is happening, right? So which is the time consuming because you need to wait until the request come back from the server or database. Until that you need to be in idle. Clear? Any questions? Next. Now what is that approach? Okay, you are telling that like this is the approach, but that approach we have to wait. The next a node has introduced called multi-thread model. Here you see, I have a client, means users are raising a cab request. It is going to the server, and in this server it has to go to the database and check. Now it is creating for each and every request one thread. You see, thread A, thread B, thread C. Now I will be having 1 crore. Okay, 1 crore threads cab requests are coming. I cannot go and hit to the database with 1 crore threads. That will hit the performance issues. Yes or no? Yes or no? So to even though each request has a separate thread, but there is an issue with the performance, because at a one shot you're sending 1000, and also you need to get the response back also to the request. Clear? This is also not a correct approach. Then what is that approach? That is, this approach is also not correct approach. Okay. Then the approach is called single thread model. So Node.js, okay, so with this, which will eliminate the limitation of the multi-thread model. So in a single thread model, whenever it performs an activity, the event is generated. For example, if you click on the button in application or fill up for a new event is generated, you can take each new request as an event. Okay, so now it is taking as an event. Now once you generate an event, emitter allows this event, and those events decided inside the event queue in the server. Okay, so now what is happening, right? You see, I'm sending an event queue and sitting in the server like a event. Okay, then that will go to the database and it will get back to the results. So this is much faster instead of waiting. Any questions, guys? It will be only loop running. So this is called the single thread model, and Node.js has become very, very popular in the market. Okay, next. Yes, what is a Node.js? Yes, Node.js is an open source runtime environment for server-side programming. Like ABAP, we have Node.js in another technology where it uses single thread. Node.js uses a Google JavaScript V8 engine to execute your code. And also, it is a cross platform and can run on OS level, Windows, Linux, FreeSDB. So provides an event-driven architecture and non-blocking IO. Clear? Understood now? What is the Capm? What is the BTP? What is the Node.js? Everything is clear? Any questions? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions, guys?
Yes, hi Bobby. So are we
Yeah.
going to cover kind of like which DB by this tutorial?
What is it? Are we going to connect
Which
to the
DB? Which DB? Which
SQL DB and HANA DB?
Okay, so we are going to create a database in the SQL, like HANA
SQL
Cloud
as well as
Central.
HANA. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so and from there we'll connect to the applications. Okay, and like authentication also we are going to cover, right?
Yes,
Accessible.
yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. I mean, in that it will cover role templates and roles and everything.
Yes,
Am I right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Fine.
Yes.
And one more requirement. See, as soon as we generate this, what called CDS, okay, when the application is like we select the type of like what called as new application, and select local node. Okay, so we are going to cover some like editable in the CDS annotations also, right?
We are going to create a domain model. Let me show you. Let me have a use case demo now. One second. I'll take your question. What you're talking about now. Let me develop one application and you tell me. Okay. I'm just we'll develop one small Capm applications. Okay. Just mute yourself, please. Then I'll take your question. Okay.
Are you saying something?
Yeah. One second. One second. I'm just opening something. That's the record. Just give me 1 minute. Huh? Just give me one. I just give me 1 minute. I'm sharing back. Yeah. So now let's go. I'll not go inside how we came here because just go and develop and training. I will go one by one projects. Click OK. So we'll develop one small Capm application and you will understand how it. Okay, perfect, fine. So now 3 lines, file, new project from template, or you can use terminal, new terminal, and you can develop your applications here also instead of using the template. And you can use anyone has done. What is that statement we have to use here? Anyone tell me if you have already worked on Capm?
CDS init.
Mm-hmm.
What is application name?
Okay. So this is creating for us a CAP project. Now I will open this CAP project inside. Okay. So before that, expand this one. The 3 folders has been getting created. One is called app, DB, SRB by the framework itself. So app means all the UI part which you keep, the UI which you have. Okay. So that related stuff, whether it's Angular, React, Fiori, elements, everything will be under app section. DB means which database you are connecting, DB related CDS, everything will be putting under DB mode. SRV means we'll be writing the logic, business logic, the Node.js logic, everything will be put and exposing, everything will be an SRV folder. Clear? Any questions until now? Any questions until now? Clear, understood, or confusing? No. Okay. Now we'll try to open this project individually. File, open folder, projects. Click OK. Okay. Now we are open. Now, as I said, in the DB folder, we'll create a what will be what are the related to the what I can say, the database related stuff will be creating under the DB folder. Right click on the DB, new file. Okay, so now I'm creating data hyphen model. Okay, data hyphen model dot cds. Okay, now I'm going to create an entity sales order, opening the brace, then close the brace. So let's not get into too much on this all. Okay, so I'll put the fields which I want. Okay, is it clear? Sales order number, column, string. So now what are the fields which I want? I'll be putting in, means I'm creating a domain model. I'm putting it here. So this demo, I'm just copying and pasting it. If not, I will be writing one by one. Okay, so now what I did, sales order number, order date, customer name, customer number, PO number, inquiry number, and total order items. And I'm giving a title for this, the disk label for all the fields. And this is our entity name. Any questions, guys? Clear? So now, perfect. This we have done. And now we need to give a one namespace to this. Why I'm giving, I will tell. Namespace. Okay, I'm giving, sorry, cap demo cap demo 74. Sorry, spelling is wrong. Cap demo 74. I'm giving a unique name for this data model, a name I'm giving. So once this is done, then we are going to create a service in SRV folder to expose as a OData service. This one. Right click, new file. Simple, very, very simple. Here nothing. cat-service dot cds. Okay, now this is a demo. I'm just copying and pasting it. If not, I will be writing it. Okay, now what is the namespace I have given here? This is the namespace. Okay, and I'm giving an alias name as DB for this namespace. Where it is there, you see, dot dot, one dot is this one, another dot is this one, and another dot is going for here. Okay, in this one, under this folder, see, I have a DB and I have data-model. So I'm getting that namespace which I have defined in the here. I'm getting it and giving a namespace as DB. Any questions, guys? I'm getting that whatever I have created the data model, and I'm getting in my services folder. Any questions, guys? Clear? Any questions? Okay. Now I'm creating a OData service. I'm giving a name called catalog service OData services. I'll talk about path later. Okay. Okay. Then entity. What is the entity? Sales order. You can see sales orders as projection on db.salesorders. Means db is what? Nothing but this. This is nothing but this. This is nothing but this. This entire thing. I'm getting it. See, db.salesorders. I'm exposing it. Any questions until now? Perfect. Done. Now click on 3 lines. Terminal, new terminal. And you do npm install, means node module you have to install. Done. Now next CDS build. We need to do build. Clear? So now we will do CDS watch to execute the application. Press enter. Open. See, it has created a service endpoint with sales order. You see, when you click on this one, you see there is no data obviously, and also there is a Fiori preview also has been integrated automatically. Now a Fiori app is developed. Now you see, click on settings. What are the columns which have given? It is coming here. A Fiori app is developed with OData services. Okay. So have you developed anything? You're just exposed as a OData service, and that has come automatically here. Clear? Any questions, guys, until now? Anything you have written any high level code? Nothing, right? Okay, now you see here. If you click back button, okay, you see here metadata. You see metadata is also created. You see here entity type, sales orders, primary key, and remaining fields. This has generated OData service for us. Click back and click on this sales orders. You see, so OData, this is OData service. Anything we have done? Nothing. This is a frame because of the CAP framework. Any questions, guys? No questions. Now you see, when I click on Fiori preview, click on settings, all the columns come, click go, there is no data. Now what I will do, right? Okay, go to this DB and I'm creating one folder called data under the DB folder. Okay, now come back. I'm just copying. This is a, what you can say, demo. I'm just having one file called, okay, cap underscore, what is our namespace which I have given here, this one. Copy this. Okay, go to the DB folder data, and here, okay, I'm going to give, you see here, right click and renaming this file with cap demo. You can see that is the namespace I have given, hyphen sales orders, hyphen sales orders, rename sales orders. I'm opening this file, or let's, I will open in Notepad++. So you see the beauty. I'll tell you what I'm planning to say. Okay, now customer name should be the same name. If any name changes also, you see, it is there. PO number, it should be the same name. Yes, customer number, perfect. Order date, perfect. SO number, perfect. Inquiry number, same column names are there. Yes, total order items. Yes, everything is there. Perfect. Now I'm just closing this one. Okay, then I will just come back to our folder. Okay, then I will see, I'll just drag this one. I'll creep under the data folder. Okay, now go here, click on settings, select all the columns, click go button, data is coming. Have you written any code? Nothing. That is called the automatic deployment. This is the Capm is providing a framework in such a way everything will be done automatically. So fast development. Understood? Because Any questions? Now understood why it has come automated, because namespace, I have given the same name hyphen entity by the framework, it will be get inserted the data. So we'll this type of fast deployments, fast developments are can be using the CAP framework we can achieve. Any questions, guys?
And if we want to get data from any table,
No, we will
the,
do that. We will do not now, not
okay.
today. That is a part of my training. Okay. Now coming back to the please tell me. Any more questions?
Whatever you mention in this course of all will cover, right? For
I'll
example,
just no, I'm opening the course now. Just a second. I'm sharing my screen back. Okay, first we'll be quick start with BTP introductions, BTP overview, what is global account, sub account, tenants, service marketplace, the instances, and connectivity and everything. Okay, then first we will be starting with HTML5, understanding the markup language, tags, elements, images, what is HTML5. Then I will move to JavaScript in depth. Okay, introductions, JavaScript, data types, operators, functions, and while, do, up, for loops, forms, events, validations, expressions, arrow functions, promises, default parameters, arrow from arrow keys, index, iterative operators, callback functions, set timeouts, promises, asynchronous callback functions, await in JavaScript. Then I will move to Node.js. We will do Node.js installations, Node.js module system, importing and npm modules, file systems, command line programming, getting users from input, debugging Node.js, Node debuggers, asynchronous Node.js, call stack, call queue, HTTP customizing request APIs, handling errors, callback functions, callback expressions. Then I will go to CAP after node in depth. Okay, then core data services. What is CAPM? Design principles. How does CAP simplifies? Golden paths, entities, views, domain modeling, best practices, naming conventions, reuse model, common aspects, auto exclude, auto expose, connect to the SQL HANA DB using CAPM, OData and CAPM, domain model, persisting model, RESTful APIs, SAP Fiori UI in CAPM. Okay, Fiori elements, UI annotations, localizations, localized, developing list report using all the CRUD operations, authorizations, access UI, security and CAPM, security models, restrictions, predefined roles, error handlings, event handlings in the CAPM, querying APIs, message APIs, how to implement before and after event handlers, how to implement RESTful objects, register event handlers, introduction to CDS APIs and run CDS query language by implementing insert update, how to implement functions in CAPM, how to implement actions, debugging Fiori UI applications, develop a CAPM project by consuming OData service from S4 HANA on-premises system that I will be covering, then APIs, then SAP Cloud Transport Management Service in BTP. When we deploy our CAPM application, how we'll move to our CAP application from one sub account to the another sub account, how I can integrate CAPM to GitHub, how can I integrate GitHub to the continuous integration service. This all the things we'll be covering. And also along with that, what is SAP Fiori, SAP Build Work Zone service, SAP Fiori Launchpad, everything will be covering. Clear? Yeah. Now please ask questions related to the topics which I'm covering in the CAP training. Any questions, guys?
so developing Fiori app in S4 HANA or is differ from CAPM, right?
Correct. See, RAP we use ABAP technology to develop, whereas CAP we'll use Node.js technology to develop. That is the difference between RAP and CAP. That's
Okay.
one of the difference.
Okay.
But
And what?
in RAP you can only connect to the HANA database only, whereas using CAP you can connect to any DB.
Okay. And what about the CDS? You will cover all about the CDS.
CDSU is a part of the CAP training. It's not ABAP CDSU, it is a CDS of CAP.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is a CDSU, which I just showed in the demo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Any questions, guys? Okay, so now I'm starting the new batch on uh, June 4th onwards. That is June 4th. I'm starting new batch. Okay. Yeah. Any questions, guys?
And what about for example, if you need bars and everything, so you will help to.
I was a part of my training. This all setup, everything I will is part of my training. We will do using BTP trial account, and we will do everything. We will be enabling one by one service. That's a part of my training.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone have any questions, guys? Okay, now coming to the main part. Every day after the class is over, I'll be uploading the recording video. Okay, and the recording video will be their view access for 1 year. What are the programs, study materials, interview question and answers, resume template, everything will be provided in the drive where you can download it. Every Friday, I'll be giving exercises based on the topic which I covered on that week. After completion of the training, as I said, I'll be providing the interview question and answers, study materials, resume template. And what are the things which I'm explaining in the training is a real-time project which I have worked. Those only I put on this training. Clear? Yeah. Any more questions, guys?
And duration of the class will
40
be.
hours. It is 40 hours duration of the training is 40
And
hours.
5 days in a week.
I'll talk about the timings and everything. Is apart from that any other questions? No. Okay.